In my last video, I revealed how your brain is hardwired for self-sabotage and procrastination. If you haven't seen it yet, please go and watch it now because there's important information in there that you need to understand in order to overcome procrastination. But if you've already watched it, let's get started. In my first video, we focused on the scientific side of things. We talked about how the limbic region of the brain overrides the prefrontal cortex every time the reward for the task you've planned seems abstract or not imminent, and that's what causes you to procrastinate. But what if you could trick your brain into thinking that every task is immediately rewarding instead? This would mean that the very same mechanism of your brain, which has been sabotaging your success for so long, will actually start working for you instead of against you. See, what's been happening until now is that you've been trying to swim upstream against the current, and that's why you've been struggling. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can swim downstream, go with the flow, and get better results than ever before. I've developed a 3-step system for making this happen, and I'm going to give it to you right now. Let me warn you, however, that you need to complete each and every one of these 3 steps in order for it to work. Coherence is what makes my system so effective. The first step in the system is creating a clear vision of the outcome you want to achieve from completing your tasks. You're probably familiar with the famous saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words. That is so true, especially when it comes to tricking your brain out of procrastination. Remember how I mentioned in my last video that the limbic system reacts and tells us in a mere 1/30th of a second whether it perceives the planned task as something painful or rewarding? This means that the very first step in overcoming procrastination is to learn how to give your brain a crystal clear image of the rewards for your planned tasks as quickly as possible. See, the problem is that your limbic system doesn't think you know where you're going and why. It thinks you have an idea, a blurry vision combined of various possibilities and outcomes, but this idea isn't specific, and that's where you start running into problems. In order for the limbic system to buy into your plans, the reward has to be specific and crystal clear. If it's not, the limbic system perceives the reward as abstract, and you'll find yourself struggling, trying to swim upstream again. So, what you need to do is create a crystal clear image in your mind of the rewards for your planned tasks, and then recall this image every time your limbic system tries to convince you they're too abstract. You need to be able to tell it otherwise. You need to be able to say, no, the rewards are actually very specific, very detailed. And by the way, here's an image of exactly what they are. So figure out what it is that you're trying to accomplish and why. Paint a detailed image of the benefits in your mind. Memorize it down to every last detail, every last color, and practice recalling it every time you get a free moment. Do it when you're stuck in traffic. Do it when you're taking a shower. Do it every single time you can. Eventually, painting that image becomes so quick and effortless that you're able to do it in a matter of just milliseconds every time your limbic system tries to tell you that your planned tasks are not worth the pain. This was step 1. The next step is to trick your brain into seeing your tasks as immediately rewarding. There's a really simple trick to making that happen. All you need to do is break your tasks and projects down to smaller and more easily manageable steps. Let me explain why this is so effective. Let's say you have to build a wall. What's the best way to go about doing that? Simple. You do it 1 brick at a time. This is something I learned from Will Smith. You don't set out to build a wall. You're simply going to focus on laying the first brick as perfectly as you possibly can, and then the next one, and the next one. And if you keep this going, soon you're going to have a wall. Now, the reason this way of thinking is so effective for tricking your brain out of procrastination is because as soon as you've laid the first brick, you're already seeing progress. Instead of thinking, "Ah, crap, I need to build this huge wall, and all I've done is laid this first brick," you're now thinking, "Yes, I am on my way. I've already accomplished something. I'm making progress." And this progress feels immensely rewarding to your brain. The thing is, you're in the exact same spot you were before. You still need to build that wall. The only thing that's changed is the way your plans are being presented to your brain. It's a mindset shift. So now, instead of your brain seeing an overwhelming and clearly unpleasant project you're not sure how to complete, it'll be seeing immediate progress, and that feels rewarding. This is how you make your brain work for you instead of against you. Now let's move on to step 3, the last step in my formula, which is maintaining a to-do list the right way. This is my favorite step by far, because by doing this, your brain will literally become addicted to achievement the very same way an addict's brain is addicted to drugs. What you need to do is take a piece of paper and write down every single one of the easily manageable steps I told you to come up with in the previous step. Next, put that paper to a place you see every day, like on the wall next to your work desk, for example. I actually went out and purchased a whiteboard for this. All you need to do now is cross out the steps you've laid out, one by one, every time after you've completed them. And that's it. The reason this works is simple. Remember how I explained that seeing progress feels immensely rewarding to your brain? Well, maintaining a to-do list and crossing out your completed tasks one by one provides your brain with an extremely strong, continuous visual representation of the progress that you're making. Every time you complete a step and cross it out, your brain will release a chemical called dopamine, the feel-good chemical. It's the exact same chemical that keeps people addicted to drugs. So now you're using that very same addiction system in your brain to your advantage. Once you start doing it, your brain will start craving more of it. Don't believe me? Just try it. Create a clear image in your mind of what you're trying to accomplish and how it will benefit your life. Break down your projects and tasks to easily manageable bite-sized steps. Write those steps down on a piece of paper and cross them out one by one right after completion. I guarantee you that after you visually see all the progress you're making, you're much more motivated to keep going. And all you need to do after this is keep practicing these 3 steps again, day in and day out. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. This is how you overcome procrastination once and for all. You know, 99% of the people who watch this video will never take action on the steps I laid out. Don't be one of them. It's just 3 simple steps. I really urge you to try this system for a few days, and you will see a difference. I guarantee it. Now, here's another thought for you. If you have a friend who struggles with procrastination, why not share this video with them? You can test out my system together and hold each other accountable. It'll be much more fun this way. Give it a try. I wish you all the best, and if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. If you felt there was something missing, leave it in the comments below, and I promise to get back to you. Make sure to follow us on Facebook so you can be the first ones notified when a new video is released, and also check us out on Instagram, where we share 15-second personal development tips and lessons every single day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.